very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's channel for today's political conversation, a conversation that I say will help us build this country even as we are progressing towards this year's general election on August 9th. I'm joined by Herman Manyora. Sir, how are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Just fine.
Fine kabisa, cold a bit but fine.
Haijakulemea baridi?
Bado sisi ni vijana.
Let's talk about what is happening within the Azimio side right now. Azimio, One Kenya coalition party coming into a consensus with Kalonzo Musyoka. Is this a big win for Kalonzo, a big win for Azimio now? The deal breaker that Kalonzo had, right now it's not going to happen.
It's good because if that was going to break Azimio, then it's a big win for them. Because he called it a deal breaker. Once you have handled the deal breaker, everything else is just soup. He said chicken soup. Going
back to the campaign trail, people were asking where was he. So maybe this was a bad thing in Azimio's side if they didn't deal with it.
Yes, he said it was a deal breaker.
Yeah.
You know, even in war, people, even in many of these things, people don't really disagree over major things. Even in families. People even divorce over things that you can even laugh. So don't say this is a small matter.
He doesn't use the toothpaste.
No, human beings differ over very small things.
Okay.
People rarely differ about things of substance. Even nations. When nations differ, and you look at what they are differing, they have so much in common. The little thing that is sending them into differences, it's real, you can't understand.
So you look at
the deal breaker has been handled, it's good enough.
For Azimio, set on straight, everything is going well.
It's good to go now.
But we need to talk about what is happening in ODM under Azimio.
Yes.
The nomination crisis, we've seen it in Homa Bay. Some say direct ticket is not working, and it's what is happening within ODM. There's questions on Homa Bay, question in Mombasa, part of Kakamega. How can they deal with this? Because it seems like it's not democratic what's happening in ODM.
You see, this problem of nomination is bigger than ODM. It's bigger than Azimio. It's a Kenyan problem. It cuts across. Even within Kenya Kwanza, there are issues similar to the ones facing. Wait until they attempt to bring Sakaja and Bishop Wanjiro together. Then you'll see how difficult it is. It's not easy for anybody. However, ODM is notorious in this idea of handpicking people. They must be careful. Because it has a cost element to it. Yes? So, I think Raila Odinga and ODM should handle this thing better than they're handling it.
Because when you look at what people are saying, they're saying they're giving it to loyalists of the party.
Of
and
course,
not necessarily people that
every
are
party in the UK will not just give it to anybody.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can agree that being loyal, it's still okay, but
Raila can't just be okay with just about anybody. And our history is there to show us some of the people Raila has supported have come openly to betray him, to insult him. And there are people he has helped. There are people he has nominated to parliament. There are people he has made things. There are people who have been elected. There is Ashwa Juma, elected on ODM, given a powerful position in the Parliamentary Service Commission. Look at who she has become. So would you really fault Raila for going for loyalty?
But wouldn't it come to harm him later because on the ground someone is not popular and then you come and give them a seat because they're simply loyal to you?
I'm saying it's a delicate balance between loyalty and performance, where performance means the ground. Somebody may be loyal, but will that loyalty translate to votes? So in some instances, you miss the seat because the person you gave to does not resonate well with the ground. So they lose, either to an independent or something like that. So you must balance. But I'm saying in principle, loyalty is important. And you cannot fault Raila Odinga for trying to give tickets to people who are loyal. Secondly, there is also the deniable fact that ODM will want to be a dominant party in parliament when Raila becomes president. You see?
Yeah.
And you cannot envisage a situation where Raila is president with 30 members of parliament, ODM. Because much as Azimio is yours, you are stronger with an ODM within that Azimio. So that explains what you are seeing in Western Kenya. But again, it can also have a political cost to it. So again, it's a question of balancing.
So it's a very difficult situation.
It's not easy.
What are the consequences of getting the wrong person on the ground? You nominate the wrong person through your party and they come out on the ground not as popular as you expected them to be?
First of all, they lose. Quite often they lose. Sometimes they lose rather. But let's say is an area which is dominantly Jubilee or dominantly ODM or UDA. Then Ruto gives somebody who is not popular. Of course they will win. But it could affect the turnout. Yes. So there are those 20, 30,000 votes from Siaya that Raila may lose because people feel he has imposed his brother, he's imposed Orengo, he's imposed the other person. People say, come on, let me go to my shamba. I have no, this is jinga, this is useless. I don't want to participate in this.
Okay.
You could lose 30,000 votes, and those are important votes. Remember, Uhuru avoided a runoff by 8,000. Nane, people say 8, is 8,000 votes. Of course, there is the funny ruling by the Supreme Court then, which interpreted valid votes to mean something, and cast votes to mean valid votes, which is crazy, of course. But without that other ruling, Uhuru would have gone to a runoff, but was saved by 8,000. Okay. So if you are Raila Odinga, and you are imposing people for governor, for senate, for the other, and a result of that is that you lose 40, 30, 20,000 votes. Or say in the whole Nyanza region, you end up losing 100,000 votes. Maybe you needed those 100,000 votes to avoid a runoff.
Okay.
For you just to win outright. Now look. So it is something you must approach with a lot of care and caution.
Do you think Raila is in a place where he's not worried about the ground not turning up to vote for him? We speak about him having loyal supporters. Some say suicidal supporters.
Correct.
Do you think he's at that point where he doesn't have to care about who comes into the nomination because people will come and vote for him?
You have to care. You need every single vote. Every single vote. We know in voting, some people win with margins you can't imagine. So, oh God, 2 votes, and he has carried the day.
Yeah.
Even for parliamentary elections in our history, there are some very funny margins. We even have had a tie. I think we've had a tie for a civic election, I think, in this country.
For seeing a rerun?
Yes. I think, if I'm not wrong,
I
think there must have been one where there was a tie. Just imagine. And your wife had gone somewhere and she delayed to come to vote. If she had voted.
Divorce.
You see what I'm saying? Therefore, you cannot say because Nyanza is mine, because I have UDA is the king in Kalenjin land, I don't care what I do in Kericho. I will impose Keter, for example. And then by imposing Keter, you lose 10,000 votes. Then those 10,000 votes are responsible for your, you can't believe it. Like there used to be something, money out of the box. Money out of the box, money out of the box, money out of the box. Then the money keeps going up, 50,000, bring the money. Then they open the box. Kifunguya gari.
Regret.
People would want to collapse.
Let's look, if you are the one in ODM trying to advise them, would you speak of negotiation, direct tickets, or would you rather wende kwa ballot?
It must be done on a case-to basis. Case to basis. But the interest of the party and the party leader must come first.
Interest of the party and the party leader?
Must come first. The voice of the party leader and the party cannot be ignored. What you need to do, therefore, is to build confidence. Is to have an infrastructure that attends to that. A team of people who can be believed. People don't want to see this as conmanship. People don't want to see this as people buying their way to tickets. People want to know there is a team of people who have clear parameters set to determine how you'll handle nominations within Nairobi. But if you just wake up one day and tell Tim Wanyonyi, no, look here, no, we want to be president. So wacha Ngati aende.
Nimeona Ngati is in Jubilee right now.
Yeah, wacha Ngati achukue because they'll be in Azimio. He can say yes, but inside, when Khalwale said yes, you think he's happy? I could see the body language.
Yeah.
Khalwale wasn't happy,
Yeah.
but he could accept because there are also considerations, maybe. He could accept. How about his followers? Will all of them accept that Khalwale shouldn't have stood?
Actually, they went out.
There are people who are going to vote for Azimio in Kakamega because they are annoyed with that deal between Malala and Khalwale. So it is not something you can handle cheaply. But I'm saying confidence. So what Raila and ODM ought to do, and within Azimio, the large Azimio, is to have a team of people with very set criteria for handling specific areas and let people know. Once people know this team has nothing but the interest of the party and the party leader at heart and the fairness, they will listen to them.
Okay.
And even their followers will understand. Say, okay, in Nairobi here, we need lawyers. So if we don't handle Team Wanyonyi carefully, we could lose as much as 100,000 lawyer votes. Do we want to do that? No. So what do we do? In the interest of this, who do we ask to step down? You balance, and people must see you are really trying.
Can this happen democratically? Because
yes.
Can it really happen? Because some say, like in ODM or in UDA, Raila ndio kusema. So he'll be the one pushing the agenda. Can it happen democratically?
Raila ndio kusema, Ruto ndio kusema. That is a fact you can't deny.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That is the nature of our politics. That is the reality. And loyalty is important, I've said.
Yeah.
But that is not to say the will of the party leader will not be met. Let me give you an example. You have talked of Homa Bay, I think. Eh?
Yes.
Let us say it is the will of the wish of Raila that Gladys Wanga becomes the governor.
Yes.
Do you think the only way to do that is just to give her a ticket?
Oh.
In disregard of what this guy was in Nairobi?
Kidero.
And those Magwas, their names there.
Yes.
Do you think the only way is just to give her?
Oh.
No, there are other ways. You can do it in a better way.
You speak to Kidero.
Yeah, even if they will not be happy, but even their followers can see there was an attempt. Okay? And even again, you know, this is politics. You can say there are nominations which are very fair. But you can advantage Gladys in some way.
What can you do though when you look at someone like Kidero who's saying he's not stepping aside?
Yes.
Mbadi stepped aside. Yeah. What can you do if someone like Kidero says, I'm not stepping aside, I'm going all in and I'm going to fight Gladys Wanga? What can you do in such a position? That's
what we are saying. You must handle this thing with care. If you are not careful, by giving Gladys Wanga the seat, she's popular, she can win on her own. But that act alone makes her lose some votes. That act alone creates sympathy votes for Kidero.
Yeah.
That act alone creates rebellion within Homa Bay County. And riding on that, Kidero can very easily become the governor on an independent ticket.
Okay.
And Kidero is ambitious.
And he's
ambitious.
His pocket is good.
He's rich and he has ambition.
Yeah.
There could be a better way of doing it. Because what I'm saying, if you process that issue, if you process it in an institutional manner, in an organized manner, even when he jumps, people will tell him no. We were looking at the interest of Raila, the interest of the party. Let's go by what has been decided by this organ, by this body. Please. I'm saying there is nothing wrong with Raila wanting Gladys Wanga. But I'm saying the manner you approach it may break the whole thing.
I guess this is quite a difficult conversation.
It's difficult. It's difficult for everybody. Not for Raila, not for Ruto. It's for everybody.
Even as we've talked a little bit about nomination for several shows, and it seems to be
it's
something.
Not easy.
Something
it's not easy. Looking at a man and telling him, Kim, leave it for Jad. It's not easy because.
Hold your ambitions.
Let me tell you this, as we wind up. People don't just wake up one day and say they want to run. People prepare, sometimes for many years. Yes, people develop their career. They put certain plans aside because their eye is on the seat, 2027, 2032. People start early. So if one day you just tell somebody no, maybe turn down a job in Canada. to be on the ground to work for that election.
Oh.
People have spent. People have sold property. You get it?
Yeah.
People have made enemies.
Mm.
People have gone through a lot to be able to be on the ticket. Then one day you tell somebody no. It's not easy. So it's difficult.
So it's Ruto.
That's why I'm saying you must navigate it with the sensitivity it requires.
Ruto Raila headache.
Ruto and Raila. It's for them. You wait. Both of them are coming to Nairobi. Hapo ndio utajua. Hapo ndio utajua ni ngumu.
Nairobi ni ngori.
Oh!
Until we do have these conversations again. Thank you so much for tuning into this conversation. I hope we'll not have any other conversation on nomination because hata kwangu ni ngumu. Until we do have these conversations, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.